Welcome everybody to the Brother Speak podcast. This is Brother Speak. Man, double header tonight. Usually do one, but I'm doing two today. Um, this one was very important to me because we have a lot of dudes talking about what these women doing, all this stuff, women issues and gynocracy and all these things, but yet we don't talk about your rights as a father. I mean, we talk about it with child support. We talk about um, custody. But what we don't talk about is when like CPS come through and how anybody can just report you, the CPS, and come take your child away. And they don't even have to talk to you. They could just come and take your child away. A teacher, a doctor can just come report you to CPS without talking to you or anything and just take your child away. Now, this story I was looking at, I saw it on Jezebel at first, and then I saw it here. So basically, what happened, these parents decided to get with a midwife, a black woman midwife, and they had the birth of the child, and they took it to the pediatrician for the newborn checkup, and the pediatrician saw they had jaundice, and he didn't like that he wasn't taking his recommendation on how to treat the child. So he called CPS on him, and they took his child. They took the child away. They arrested him and took his child away. Now, you want to talk about black women having all these can take your child away. This is a government entity can take your child away, and with and because you don't want to take their treatment, you don't want to go to their hospitals. Because let's face it, some people have good experience in the hospital and some have had terrible experience in the hospital. I should know my ex-wife had some terrible experiences in the hospital. So I can understand you don't want to have, you want to stay away from the hospital system because a lot of that is ran by money. If you don't have the right insurance, hey, how they treat you is how they treat you. And you don't know what doctor you might get, and you don't know what might happen. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read the story, and then we're gonna play the. They did a press conference, so I'm gonna read the story for y'all, show it to you. And find that story. This is America. We need to understand we have war, no rights. They are bound to respect. Hey, Super Mike, and it's getting apparent that that's the case. So let me read this, and thank you, Super Mike, for coming through. Hey, if you want to do a story on this, Super Mike, you more than welcome. Actually, I was thinking about sending you an email and show you because you know, and you or information man because y'all can probably do a better job of investigating than I might. So but man, this is something that we need to talk about as black men. I'm not worried about the women. I'm worried about black men because because yeah, they focus primarily on the woman, but there was a black man, there was a father right here who was taking care of his child, was doing what he felt was in the best interest of his child, and you got this punk ass doctor. in his fee-fees because they didn't want to listen to what he had to say and want to get the cops involved. So, black couple, and this is from today's shows. Black couple says Texas authorities took away their baby just because they had a home birth. A black couple living in Dallas said a 2-week-old daughter was taken from them because they decided to have a home birth with a midwife. 2 weeks ago, Temecia Jackson gave birth to her daughter, Mila, at home with the assistance of a licensed and certified professional midwife. It was a beautiful birth. She was perfect, 6 pounds, 9 ounces. The couple say their baby developed jaundice, a common liver condition in newborns, which often resolves itself without treatment. Temecia and her husband, Rodney Jackson, said they were following the midwife's care protocol for their baby's jaundice, which was to care for her at home rather than admit her to the hospital. After a routine doctor's visit, the couple alleges that their child, pediatrician, called Dallas Child Protective Services because the parents were going to continue to follow their midwife's guidance. Days later, DeSoto police officers and CPS agents arrived at the couple's home, demanding they turn their daughter over to authorities. Temecia Jackson says the officers arrested her husband, took his keys, and used them to enter their residence and took Mila from the mother's arms. When they came in and took her from me, I requested that I needed to see the paperwork. They insisted, no, give her first, give her first. They took her from my arms and they gave me the paperwork. When they left, I looked at the paperwork. The paper had another mother's name on it. Temecia Jackson said her husband was not initially listed on the warrant. Later says the document was updated to list Rodney Jackson as the alleged father. Instantly, I felt like they had stolen my baby as I had a home birth and they were trying to say my baby belonged to this other woman. The mother continued, holding back tears. I do not know where to turn. They had taken my husband from me and took my daughter. So they literally ran up there, arrested him because they took away the protection, which was the father, hit the first line of defense, arrested him, got him out the way, and then they took the child. It's bullshit. A spokesman for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services told Today that CPS cases in Texas are confidential, therefore I'm not able to discuss any details of the case. Bullshit. And they reached out to the police department and they didn't hear nothing. Yeah, I bet you're not saying nothing. Mila remains in Dallas CPS custody under the care of a foster family. The couple's hearing with the Dallas County's Juvenile Board was originally scheduled for April 6th. The morning, the couple says that the hearing was abruptly postponed until April 20th. Yeah, they know they were on some bullshit. Today reached out to the Dallas County Juvenile Department for comment and did not hear back at the time of publication. The Jacksons say they've been allowed only a few supervised visits with their daughter, which they say had taken place in CPS offices and in the presence of police officers. During the press conference, the couple said they feel like criminals during a visit and claim their attempts to deliver breast milk to their newborn daughter has been denied. The child still does not have a birth certificate because she was not born in the hospital. For me, as a father, this is my only daughter. I can't be a girl dad right now. I feel like my protection role has been stripped away from me. The couple's midwife, Cheryl Imbybird, was also present at Thursday's press conference and saying Mila was being nurtured. The child was being supported. The child was being loved. This child was kidnapped. Mila needs to be returned home. In a 2016 academic study, 53% of Black children experienced child welfare investigations before their 18th birthday, compared to 28% of white children. Once in custody, research shows Black children are less likely than white children to be placed with a family member or ever return to their families. The couple and the midwife believe the child was taken from them because they had followed the advice and were cared for by a midwife. From 2019 to 2020, more people of color chose to give birth outside a hospital setting, according to a 2022 report released by the National Partnership for Women and Families, a nonpartisan and nonprofit advocacy organization that works on public policies and education about women and families. The increase is greatest among Black parents, followed by Indigenous and then Latinx parents, likely in response to the higher risk of maternal mortality and mobility they face, and the impact of discrimination and structural racism in hospitals that result in lower quality care. Like I said at the start, my ex-wife had a horrible experience in the hospital, um, because again, they treat you differently. One, economics. If you're poor and you don't have good insurance, yeah, they're gonna treat you a certain type of way. And you're Black, that happens too. Black people are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white people, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. In Texas, at least 118 women died and nearly 200 children were left without a mother in 2019, according to the state's 2022 Maternal Mortality and Mobility Review Committee's biennial report. Discrimination contributed to 12% of pregnancy-related deaths in 2019, according to the same report. During the press conference, Marsha Jones, executive director of the Althea Center, a Dallas-based organization that supported the couple's midwife, said absolutely nothing happened last week for these parents to be sitting here today. What did happen was misogyny. What did happen is white patriarchy. The intentional denial of Dr. Cheryl's ability to birth, that happened. The same thing that happened last week happened at a reconstruction with Black granny midwives. That happened. The removal of Black people's ability to take care of Black people. That happened. This is, let's see here. No rights, they're bound to respect. Insane. Yeah. Devils. All these things. Now, I want to, let's see if I can find this right quick. All right. Hold on. I don't know what I'm looking at the wrong thing anyway. It was there. Hold on. Now, see this picture here? I want y'all to look at this guy. This is the doctor. This is the doctor that called CPS on his family because they didn't want to listen to what he had to say, how he felt they should be treating their daughter. It's not his daughter, it's their daughter. This is what this motherfucker thought, that they don't know what they're talking about. They can't know what's best for their child. This Black father, they don't know what he talking about. Sell out East Eating. Yeah. His name is, let me put this. Matter of fact, let me go read that story right quick. Hold on, let me go find that right quick. His name is Anand Bhatt. Matter of fact, let me type it into the chat. Okay. Yeah, that's the name of the doctor right there. So let me read the one for. Yep, that's him right there. Also, let me do you better, Super Mike. Let me find out. In fact, let me do you better. Because when good information come around, it's here we go. Here you go, Super Mike. That's the doctor right there, and this is where he works. This is the doctor that said, you black man don't know what you talking about. You can't decide how to treat your own daughter. I decide how you treat your own daughter. See, damn what the women talk about. This man right here said to a black man, you don't know how to treat your daughter. You can't make decisions regarding your daughter's health. No, I make those decisions. And since you didn't follow what I said, I'm going to get the cops on you. They came and take this man's daughter, arrested him so he couldn't be the protection. Matter of fact, let me play that story. Let me read that part. This one. I should have read this one. I'm gonna find this right here. All right. All right. So we're gonna go here. According to the documents, after the Jackson visit, he decided to secure a bed for Mila at the Children's Medical Center of Dallas and asked the family to bring her there. He said he told the family that he would call police if a welfare check for a welfare check if she did not arrive. Temecia Jackson said she received multiple calls, texts from the pediatrician, including a call at 11 p.m. at March 24th, where Pratt said they were going against what he felt, what we should do for her child, and warned the parents that he would call the Department of Family and Protective Services if they didn't bring Mila to the hospital. So again, this 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 guy told a black mother and a black father, you don't know how to take care of your child. You don't know what to do for your child. I do. Let's see. Court documents show around 4 a.m. March 25th, Martinez and two DeSoto police officers went to the Jackson's home. Rodney Jackson declined to speak with them without a contract, according to the documents, and both Martinez and the officers left. Court documents say that the welfare check outcome was unknown. An hour later, according to Martinez notes in the affidavit filed by DFPS, Martinez returned to the home with officers, a fire truck, and an ambulance to transport the child. Rodney Jackson again declined to open the door, and the officers departed the home again. So this is a black father trying to protect his daughter. Documents show that the program director from DFPS approved removal for the four-day-old baby. A supervisor directed Martinez to take custody of Mila due to her health being in imminent danger of a serious long-term consequences. Following the visit, Rodney Jackson called Bhatt, saying that he was very upset and that he and his wife planned to take care of their baby naturally, court documents show. He also reportedly told Bhatt that he didn't believe in modern medicine, which according to the DFPS affidavit, Bhatt said he understood that their doctor did, however, once again urged them to go to the hospital. We were traumatized. We were woken up by police banging at our door at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. On March 30th, officers returned to the home with a warrant. Rodney Jackson, who was not home at the time, was arrested upon his return. Court documents show he was charged with one count of possession of drug peddling. Yeah, they're gonna put a drug charge on this dude, and one count of preventing the execution of a civil process. The Jackson interview said that when Rodney Jackson was detained, his keys were removed and police entered the home and took Mila from Temecia Jackson. Since then, the baby has been in foster care. I called my husband and let him know that the police are outside. He immediately turned around and come back to the house. He's met by 6 constables, pretty much demanding that he let them into the home, and they had a writ. My husband said he will not be allowing them to go to the home, but if they have a writ, they can do what it is they need to do. He made sure not to block our front door or anything like that. The constables chose to arrest my husband so they could take the keys and use his keys to unlawfully enter my home and take my baby from me. Yeah, made up charges, Super Mike. Yeah, violation of property rights. Yeah, this that's the fucked up part. Feel comfortable having, yeah. See, while all these black men are worried about what these black women doing, you need to be worried about what this government coming to do. You want to talk about you want to have all these rights as a man. These motherfuckers are coming up there jacking your child, saying you don't know how to take care of your child. I do. You don't want me to take you to the hospital where it's your God-given right to decide for yourself how to treat your child, what medical procedures that your child should be going to. This government is okay with you transferring your child from a male to a female. They okay, and in some cases don't even need your permission to do so. They okay you being around people of questionable mentality, around teaching your children, trying to influence them into the LGBTQ lifestyle, but you want to take care of your child's health the best way you know how, and you want to avoid all these hospitals and stuff like that. Nah, you can't do that. But you worry about what black women doing. All right. You need to be worried about what this government trying to do. You need to be worried about the fact that they come, if they feel, not no evidence, no facts, they feel that you're not taking care of your child the way they feel you should, they can come take your kid. And they will do anything to do it. They arrested this man from his home. So just so they can come yank that child. That's a straight up bullshit, man. And again, while you worrying about what these black women doing, this is what this government got set up for you. They can come take your child at any time. Now, so you may be wondering, well, why they won't go to the hospital? Well, the Jacksons, who have two older children and live in DeSoto, a suburb of Dallas, elected to do a home birth after Temecia Jackson had two prior cesarean sections, C-sections. And if anybody know what C-sections are, they cut into you. That's damaging to a body. That's damaging to a woman's body. So, and can potentially damage the child. So they're like, why would I want to do that and have my wife cut a third time? No, let's do the natural birth. Let's go with a midwife. They're not going to do stuff like that. Now, so like I said, this is what these people they 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 want the ability to control your children. They want the ability to control your children. And while you're worrying about what these black women doing, they have it. You can take it to the hospital. They feel like you, if you disagree with their treat, what they want to, how they want to treat your child, yeah, they can call CPS on you. So what I'm gonna do here, we're gonna play the try to find it. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna play the press conference with the parents, and they're gonna explain all what happened because, you know, listening to me. Um, Hold on, and let me do this too. Now, if you want to help, down on the screen, this is the Althea Center. That's where they were taking their child to get with the midwife, and that's where they work. So if you want to donate to help the Jacksons with their legal fees, please donate. There is on the bottom of the screen, and I'm posting that address on Twitter. Good, good. Post his address too. This is some bullshit because I don't want to treat them like the way you want to treat them. You got the right to take my child. That's some bullshit. But anyway, let me play the press conference. The sound might be not as high as it should be. I apologize. Let me find it. What did I do with it? Okay. Super Mike, if you still in there, can you hear? Can you hear this? I'm trying to. Let's see. Maybe I can find it. Let's see. Maybe I can find something else. Hold on. Let me try to find that. Uh, all right.
So, um, so real quick, I know that most time when we have these type of press conference, we have them in a more traditional fashion. My name is Minister Dominic Alexander, president and founder of the Next Generation Action Network, and we are standing in solidarity as
Okay. So can you hear it now? Is it coming clear? Is there echoes in it? I just want to be sure. I hear. Okay. Good. All right. No echoes or anything? Yes. Okay. Bet. All right. Let's continue.
well as with the Fear Center in regards to the Jackson family. This press conference will not be traditional. This will be this family expressing and talking about what they have encountered in the last couple of days. It's not for me to be able to articulate what the pain.
Okay. I'm gonna skip to where the parents come in. Okay. So.
via a home birth. Um, as I wanted to be able to tell my birth story and have my birth story the way that I wanted it to be. I wanted to be at home and in comfort with my husband. And so I was able to do that on March 21st. I delivered my baby girl, Mila Jackson, at 5:28 in the morning, um, at home with my husband and my midwife. It was a beautiful birth. She was perfect, 6 pounds, 9 ounces. 3 days later, we decided to take her to a pediatrician just for a newborn checkup. Within that visit, we were told everything is good. She looks great. The only thing is she have jaundice. Jaundice is a very common thing. Many of our family friends and families' children have had jaundice. So we left that visit thinking everything was fine. A couple of hours later, the pediatrician called my phone and wanted us to direct admit Mila into the hospital. We told him that we would get with our midwife as she's our care provider and figure out exactly what we wanted to do. Um, Shortly after that, he texted my phone and gave me three options for taking care of Mila. We told him thank you and let him know that we would start those care options. Later that night, around 11:30, he texted my phone and said that we are going against what he feel like we should do for our child, and if we do not admit her into the hospital.
Again, he said what he felt like what they should do for the child, not not what's in the best interest of the child. Sorry. Sorry about that, yeah. Accidentally turned on my PS5. So he's saying, after everything was cool, he gonna come back and say, yeah, you need to take him to the hospital. They're like, no, we got a doctor, we got a midwife license. We don't need to go to the doctor. But that ain't good enough for him. Again, he's telling a black man that, hey, what you think you should be, how you take care of your daughter, no, you gotta listen to what we say. Let's continue.
Immediately for jaundice that he was going to call CPS. Um, at 4 a.m., we're asleep. I'm asleep with the baby. My husband is asleep. Police officers are banging at our door with CPS. We let them know they have no jurisdiction, and they needed to leave, which they did in that moment. An hour later, they came back with more officers, more CPS workers, a fire truck, and an ambulance, demanding that we hand over Mila, saying that she is now in the care of CPS. We again told them to leave, which eventually they did. The very next day, our midwife reached out to the pediatrician, just letting him know that pretty much he has traumatized us. We were traumatized. We were woken up by police banging at our door at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. And so after she gave him all the credentials that he was requesting from her, he pretty much said he was going to leave our care in our midwife's hands. And so we lived life. We went to soccer. We did everything that you do on a Saturday and a Sunday. And then that Tuesday,
So, and like I said, commend them. A lot of people probably would have gave the child up. They like, nope, nope, you can't come take our child. You gotta give up the child. Nope, I ain't. No, we ain't doing that. And they did what they were supposed to do. They got in contact with the midwife, had her come through, talk to the doctor, but he wasn't trying to hear that shit. He wasn't trying to hear that shit. Like I said, he literally saying it don't matter what you say, black man, how to treat your child. It's what I say. You know that again. You worry about these women. You worry about getting Pearly to come talk to these women. You need to be worrying about if you got children. You need to be worried about what these doctors trying to do. Because, like I said, they feel like you ain't treating your child the way they want you to. Guess what? They're gonna send CPS to come yank your child. It's crazy, man. Let's continue.
my husband was walking our dog, and Constable is banging at the door. I'm inside with Mila. I call my husband and I let him know there's police outside. He immediately turns around and comes back to the house. He's met by six constables, pretty much demanding that he let them into our home and they had a writ. And so my husband said he will not be allowing them to go into the home, but if they have a writ, they can do whatever it is that they need to do. He made sure not to block our front door or anything like that. The constables chose to arrest my husband so that they could take his key and use his key to unlawfully enter my home and come and take my baby from me.
Ain't that some shit? These pussy officers gonna wait till he outside, arrest him so he can't block their way, keep them from the child, and then gonna come yank their child, yank the child. That's some bullshit, man. That's all because some punk ass doctor. Let's look at this doctor again. This punk ass doctor, because he had his fifis, he and his fifis, because they wouldn't do what he want them to do. This is what happened. They got their child taken from them. Because he and his fifis. No, black man. You can't decide how the best care for your daughter. I decide. And make that shit up, man.
That point, since then the way we're appeared now, we've been foot on the ground, reaching out to any
But
anyone.
I need to say,
Go
I
ahead.
need to
Oh, I'm
say,
sorry.
when they came in and took her from me, I requested that I needed to see the paperwork. And so they insisted, no, give her first, give her first. And so they took her from my arms and they gave me paperwork. When they left, I looked at the paperwork and the paperwork had another mother's name on it. It was DCCPS versus another mother, which I won't say her name, but it was not my name. And so instantly I felt like they had stolen my baby as I had had a home birth and they are trying to say that my baby belonged to this other woman. There was no contact information for me. I did not know where to turn. They had taken my husband from me and then took my daughter from me, and I was left by myself. And so I immediately went to the police station and said that my daughter was stolen and I needed help. The officer found a CPS caseworker's name and number and gave that to me. And from that moment, I was yelling that this is not me. This person who's on this affidavit is not me. Y'all took the wrong baby. Y'all should not have taken my baby. And from there, we have been fighting every day.
We went to state representative office, calling who we can call, trying to get in touch with press, just trying to make as much noise as possible to get our daughter back. Um, we've we have been ignored by CPS. We've sent them. We've been up there almost every day trying to drop off breast milk, and yeah, just no help on their end at all. We've been treated like criminals, um, and that's far from the truth. I'm a very big member in the community. I coach kids.
They don't want black women to think we can resist that system. Yeah. I mean, look at this. No criminal record. They're gonna lock him up. They're gonna treat him like a criminal because why? Because he said, no, I want to treat my daughter the way I want her to be treated. Me and my wife are deciding that we want to treat our daughter the way we want it to be done. We don't trust your hospital. We don't trust your healthcare system. We want to do it our own. And what they get because some effing Indian doctor in his fees, he ain't like that. You gonna call CPS on him. You can't make this shit up. So while you still worrying about black women, you need to be worried about this government. This government is saying you don't get to decide how your daughter is raised. You don't get to decide what type of health treatment they get. We decide. And here's the cold part. These are parents actually wanting to be involved in their children's lives, and you yanking them away. You yanking a child away from their parents. Meanwhile, you got motherfuckers got keep kids in horrible conditions. They don't do shit about them. And I can bet you they all backed up with a whole bunch of cases. But you want to do these parents dirty, because one, to save face, and two, now you can't tell us what to do. We tell you what to do. So like you said, Super Mike, this is some bullshit here. Some bullshit. And again, if you want to help the Jacksons, donate to the Althea Center. The website is, the link is scrolling at the bottom. You know, this is some bullshit, man. And like I said, you weren't about these black women. You chasing skirts. You need to be worried about how they're gonna do. They got backup. They got backup. We need backup too. Yeah, and that's a good thing. They knew where to go, and they are they knew where to go, and the center is behind them, and this is what we need to be doing. Again, I'm not worrying about these chicks, and the chicks. You worrying about these ain't shit niggas. No, you need to be worrying about how these people come take your children. If they feel like you're not treating them the way you want them, they want them to be treated, yeah, they can come yank your kids. This stuff you need to be worried about. I don't give a fuck about what some of these black chicks are doing. I don't give a fuck what some of these niggas are doing. But I want where I get to decide how the best treatment for my child, not some fucking goofy ass doctor, because he feels so fucking important that you say no, I'm not treating him the way you want to. He gonna get in his fees and call CPS again. Let's look at this piece of shit doctor again. That's this doctor. Let me show you where he worked. This is where he works. All right. So if he has a fucking Twitter, hit him up. Let him know this is some bullshit you're doing. Let's hear some more from the.
Yeah, this is a nightmare that I wouldn't wish on anyone.
And as far as them updating my name, even still, it still says the other mother is the other woman is my child's mother. It also says that that woman's husband is my child's father. I don't know this woman. I've never seen this name before. She's not a friend, not a family member. And we have come to learn that this other mother that's listed has previous CPS cases where her kids were taken from her. And so I feel as if my child was removed so quickly because they have this other mother's name listed on this affidavit. And she have a history with CPS and her children being taken from her husband beating her in front of the kids, and that is not us. And yet my child Mila is attached to this name, and they've removed my child due to the history of another woman who.
Sound like to me, and this is just, I know I'm not with the conspiracy theories. I think they did that on purpose To be perfectly honest, I think they did that on purpose because otherwise, to get that warrant and whatever they had to do, if they have no history, no judge is going like with some sense. Okay, it's gonna be like, wait a minute, wait a second. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Wait a second. They don't have no history of beating this child. They don't have no history of beating their other children, hurting their children. They don't have no CPS cases going on. Why the fuck I'm gonna sign this? No, man, leave them people alone. But they put that other lady's name because she do have a history, whether you believe it or not. Because I mean, look, this is how disgusting these people will do to go after somebody who they feel they can't fight back. They manipulate to teach these N words their place. Yeah, because they felt like they can't fight back. He could. They don't know nobody. They don't know nobody. They ain't got no. They ain't got no connections. Yeah, we gonna take their child. They ain't gonna do shit. What they gonna do? What we gonna do? I mean, put this person's name on there. Yeah, they gonna run and get their child. Judge signs it, and yeah, no, it works. Now you listen to us. You beneath us. We tell you how to treat your child. We tell you what your child should listen to. We tell you what your child should be exposed to. We tell you how to take care of their health. Not you. Not you, black man. Not you, black woman. We know you poor. We know you ain't smart. We know you ain't got no education. You don't know how to treat your children. All y'all homeless. All y'all doing is going around screwing each other, destroying your community. No, we have to save you from yourselves. That's what they think about you. Hmm. We gotta save you from yourselves. You don't know how to raise these children. Look at you. Look how y'all look. Y'all look like a bunch of hippies anyway. Bunch of druggies. You ain't gonna do nothing. We got to save you from yourselves. How dare you think you could tell me how to raise your children? How dare you tell me that nah, I'm not gonna take your treatment. I'm gonna take care of my own child my own way. It's this basically what they said. Black man, you don't know how to raise your child. Oh, y'all don't raise them anyway. You're deadbeats. You don't take care of your children. And when you're there, you ain't doing shit. So let us take care of them. You don't get to decide how to raise your child. We do. Let's continue.
Mother who is not myself.
Uh, we've had only two visits with her. The most recent one yesterday, where we were at the end, towards the end of the visit, we were changing her diaper, and come to find out she has irritation on her private areas. We do further investigation and open her up, and she has what seems to be yeast or white substance. I have no
Built
idea
up
what it is.
inside her vagina. And so we immediately bring this to the attention of CPS. they come in, and again, we just feel like criminals and everything because we brought this to their attention. They immediately brought an officer into the room. Like, why are we being treated as if we're doing something bad to our child? Yet in y'all's care, my child now has red bumps on her vagina. She has built up white crust inside her vagina. And so we're wanting to know, what are you going to do? And they're saying, oh, we're going to have the foster parent to take her to the doctor. We're objecting to that because that same foster parent is where this buildup and this irritation occurred. And yet you're sending her back to this same foster family.
Now, ain't that some bullshit? They got this child developed another health issue while under the care of the fucking foster parent, under CPS care. And instead of you want, yeah, and instead you're gonna look at the parents like they caused it. How the fuck they gonna cause a yeast infection? Meanwhile, under the care of this foster parent, this child developed another health issue, yeast infection. How the fuck it got yeast infection in the vagina? Mm, sound like some bullshit going on in that fucking foster parent house. And instead of, hey, let's take that child away from there, might be a problem. No, they're gonna leave him with the same foster parent. The fuck wrong with these people? But yet, these parents, um, these parents have a doctor, I mean a midwife, licensed to take care of children. They're gonna yank the child from them, but they're gonna keep it with the foster parent. I would not be surprised if that foster parent white. I would not be fucking surprised. Disgusting. Oh, you don't know how to take care of your child, but under the foster parent, now you got a yeast infection, white stuff, and bumps in her vagina. How did that get there? That's what I like to know. Now, before somebody um, come over here and be like, oh well, the doctor was just concerned. Again, they were under a care of a midwife, licensed to take care of children. All he had to do was talk to the lady and hey, we can develop a program. We don't have to get CPS involved. But no, they didn't want to. He didn't want to do that because he was in his fee-fees. Let's look at this. Look at this fuck boy again. This fucker right here. This fucker right here told a black man, "You don't know how to. You don't know how to treat your daughter. I do." And called CPS. They took the child away. Now, under the care of CPS, the child has another issue, medical issue, a yeast infection. All because of this fucker right here. And this is where he works, right here, Baylor Scott in White Pediatrics. Matter of fact, here, I'll do y'all even better. I just put in the chat, that's where that man works at. So anybody who may listen to this, if you're going to see the doctor, I might suggest for your sake, you might not want to go to that doctor. You might not want to go to this doctor right here. I'm just saying. That's where he works. So I'm just saying, for y'all sake, man, y'all might not want to go over there. You might want to pull your child from there. Because if you disagree with what his treatment is, CPS coming. Yeah, hold on a minute. I'll be right back, y'all. Sorry about that, yeah. Let's get back to this right here.
And we just feel helpless in this situation as if I don't know what to say.
How is Mila look to you now? You're getting to see her every now and then. You said, but the jaundice left.
So let's just hold places just a second. Let's let the midwife talk and let's let you finish getting the story out, and make sure you say who you are before you start asking questions. Hi, my name is Cheryl Edinburgh. I have a doctorate in Christian counseling. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and in this instance, I am the licensed midwife by the state of Texas, the certified professional midwife by the state of Texas that have cared for this beautiful family. Unfortunately, they did something that so many people do on a normal basis, and they took their child in for care. And the very system that's designed to heal us is the very system that has been strong enough. And I just wish you guys would just let Mila come home. There's nothing they did wrong. This mom came in, she wanted to have a home birth. She successfully did that. And we celebrated that. And it was a joyous occasion. And before she could even bring her baby back in for the first postpartum care, she's letting me know the baby's no longer with her. And that's extremely devastating. Listen, this is so heavy for me. I can't imagine what she's going through. But every day, I tell her to be strong. And every day, she has to find a new strength. This shouldn't be happening. And guess what? It's not just happening to them, but unfortunately, they're the sacrificial lambs. Something has to happen. It has to stop. The attack on families, the attack on black midwifery, the attack on black bodies, the demasculation of our men has to stop. And that's what we're here today. We're demanding that Mila be returned home today. Today. Because yesterday was too late. The day they took her was ridiculous. It was wrong. And what she needs is her mother. Because when she left her mother's home, she was perfect. Perfect. And to have her mom FaceTime me with the pictures that she showed me yesterday is horrific. And to know that this baby is still in my care, understand that. And to see things that I cannot help her with is devastating. It's devastating to our community. So, yeah, today is them, but anybody can be a step from being abused by the CPS system. Anybody. And unfortunately, they are suffering. They are suffering.
No one can ever imagine the emotional turmoil. So now I'm talking from a licensed professional counselor standpoint because eventually that's what I had to become for her while dealing with this pediatrician and trying to help him understand you're saying your care is for this child. Understand the person that bore this child, carried this child for 9 months, birthed this child into this world, has everything this child needs. And so the source for this child to be safe, to be well, to be warm, to be
Yeah, and Super Mike, I can understand. You know, this is why, and this is why I don't put white people on a pedestal. I don't put these fuckers on a pedestal. I don't put white men on a pedestal, white women, nobody on a fucking pedestal. Because this is the bullshit they will pull on you at any given time because they think you're the lesser. That's why it made me sick when I see these these black content creators, black males running behind this ain't shit bitch white just Pearly. It makes me sick when I see dudes talking about white men better for black women. It makes me sick when I see black women talking about how white men protect. This is the protection y'all talking about here? This is the protection you talking about here, huh? These people better, right? Sorry, I ain't to go on that pro-black rant. I'm not pro-black like Super Mike, but I'm pro for black people to do what the fuck they want to do. And if they decide that health system ain't for them and they want to do something else, they have the right. They should have the right to do that. I am for the right for a black father to say, I'm not putting my daughter in that system. I've seen how it destroyed my wife. They cut my wife open twice to take children out of that. I don't want my wife to go through that again. I'm for black men having that right to do that. Not for some punk ass Indian motherfucker who come from a lot of poverty over there dictate to they dictate to a black man how he should take care of the health of their child. That's why, like I said, I don't look up to white folks. I don't look up to these other races of people because they be on bullshit and they will infect their bullshit on you. And because they in these positions of power and influence, they will use that on you, not because it's for the best interest of the child. It's because they can. And they do this to encourage our women to get their tubes tied. Yeah, they do. They man, they do our women dirty. Hey, they do the men dirty, but they do our women very dirty. Hey, my ex-wife, man. Mm, who want to tell the story? You know, I'll tell the story. Um, she went to the hospital, right? And she was suffering with a lot of pain. You know, come to find out later, she had an issue with her spine, and she's just in a lot of pain. We had a doctor at the time, and because he got in his fee-fees, he stopped trying. He was trying to send her into a mental hospital because you know she's in pain, and the pain ain't subsiding. And she was like, "Hey, your treatment's not working. What you doing?" He was about to send him to the mental ward. Yeah, that's what they did to. That was they were doing to my ex-wife. Luckily, you know, we had her father, mother, and we came together and we kind of stopped that from happening. But this is the kind of stuff that these doctors will do to you if you let them. And because they think they got this degree, and listen, no disrespect to any doctors out here, but there's some doctors who think that their word is law. And if you have any disagreement with them, they will fuck you up. And it's a bad position to be in, because here's where the problem is. You go sue that doctor, that gets around, now all these other doctors don't trust you. That's a bad situation to be in. They're trained to think we're stupid. Yeah. They're trained to think we're dumb. You don't know how to treat you. We know how to treat you. Look at y'all. Y'all got the highest rate of heart disease, diabetes. Now you're not really in pain. You can take more pain than that. Nah, that what? All that's crazy shit. It treats you any kind of way. And look where they get you. They just ripped a child from their mother. They arrested a black man trying to protect his daughter. And now that child is suffering from another health issue. All because they want to show these parents that, hey, we run you. You don't run you, we run you. And listen, and trust me, I'm not as pro-black as Super Mike. Far from it. But I am for black men that have the right to raise their children the way they want to. And this is sick. This man is doing what he's supposed to do. They probably, you know what, Super Mike? I was thinking that too. They mess with that baby. Because how a baby get a yeast infection in its vagina? Red spots and yeast infection in their vagina. How the fuck that happened? How the fuck that happened? They did something to that baby. I would not be surprised if they did something to that baby. But they ain't. Mm. It's sick. These people sick. That's why I be like, why are you trying to put these people on a fucking pedestal? These people sick. Hell, they do their own kids dirty. They do their own kids dirty. And you want to come talk to me about, oh, they better than us. Man, fuck you. Anybody come tell me white people better, fuck you. Oh, white men better, fuck you. White women better, fuck you. Get the fuck up out of here. Any other race better than black people, fuck you. Get the fuck up out of here. They gonna come take a black couple's baby and put it in a worse position than what it was. The fuck out of here. Don't ever tell me about I want to key. I want to, yeah. Yeah, this kind of stuff make you do want to do something like that. They come in and yank your child. yank your child because they can. And you wonder why black folks have a distrust of the government, have a distrust of cops, have a distrust of CPS, doctors, because of shit like this. Let's continue this.
Taken care of, the baby was ripped from that source. And since that baby has been ripped from that source, the baby has not been protected. And I know because we have pictures that is evidence of that.
Yeah.
This is not okay. And if anybody thinks that this is okay, legislation, government, state representatives, if anybody thinks that this is okay, there's a problem bigger than this.
But here's the thing, they do think it's okay. Because it ain't about protecting children. It's not protect. Hell, they only protect themselves. All they care about is the power to manipulate people's lives. They don't care about protecting children. Mm-mm. That's why, like, I got into this argument with the honest truth on that panel. White men protect these women. No, they don't. No, they don't. Not the way you think. It's they protect their image and protect their power. That's what they protect. And they will do whatever it takes to protect it and to show you that you at the bottom. And people, and not just white folks, but these fucking Indians too. It's intimidating black people. The doctor wants money for the baby to get admitted. Yeah, that too. It's about money too. About power. At the end of the day, it's about power. These white folks, these Arab folks, they are not your fucking friends. They don't like you like that. You have to be about you, black man, about you. Never again, never mind these women. I ain't worrying about the women. I'm worrying about you, your rights as a father, your right as a citizen. I'm not worrying about these women. Because they ain't got no power. Look, it they talk about this gynocracy. If this was if the black woman had that power like they say they do, how this woman get her child yanked? How this woman get her child yanked, and then you have the other woman right here who's in the care of this woman. They ain't even listen to a goddamn thing they said. How is they a gynocracy? How the fuck black women got any power when a black woman got her child yanked? And there's not a damn thing she can do about it right now. Some of these dudes' mind setting wrong thing. It is not a gynocracy. It's not a matriarchy. Because if this was a matriarchy, this wouldn't happen to no black woman. They took the baby from her hands. She, black woman, and a light skin. Not only that, here's the cold part. It's a light skinned black woman. For all these people thinking that these light skinned people have this privilege, they took this black baby girl from her hands. Now she in CPS with a yeast infection. How the fuck a baby have a yeast infection in the vagina? Mm. Does that clear it up for you, or do you still think black women have some power in this world? Some of these black men out here, man, your mind, you in the wrong headspace. You worrying about what these women doing. No, you need to be worrying about what this government can do to you and your children. That's what you need to be worried about. Protecting your family, protecting your legacy. That child is his legacy. That's what he need to be protected. And that's what you need to be protected, black man. Let's continue.
Listen, Mila needs to come home today. She needs to touch her parents today. Her parents need to hold her today. We don't want to hear wait. We don't want to hear wait because listen, there is no investigation. There was never an investigation. So there is guilty and then proven innocent. Well, these people aren't guilty. Then there's an injustice being done. Send Mila home today. Today.
I know you all are about to get ready to ask questions. I know you all are about to get ready to ask questions, right? And I just want you to keep something in mind though before you start asking questions. A lot of times we'll kind of start asking questions as uh, and we want to seem like we are as sensitive as we possibly can be, and but the questions will sometimes be accusatory. And so I want you to think before you ask a question today around the idea of accusatory, because absolutely nothing happened last week for for these parents to be sitting here today. Absolutely nothing. Now, what did happen is misogyny. What did happen is white patriarchy. That happened. The intentional denial of Dr. Cheryl's ability to birth. That happened. The same thing that happened last week happened after Reconstruction with Black granny midwives. That happened. The removal of Black people's ability to take care of Black people. That happened. But what did not happen, there's absolutely no blame to be sit here today. And so I hope that we can ask questions that will get us closer to bringing this baby home. I hope bringing Miley, because I'm going to give her a name. I'm not going to call her this baby because she's a baby, Miley. I hope that we can ask questions that will make the state of Texas think about the harm that they have historically perpetrated for Black families in CPS and in their family court. I hope that we can ask questions that will address that. Yes, I know you all want to talk with them about what's going on, but I want you all to really think about making sure that we're not accusing or asking accusatory things in any kind of way. As it related to, I heard somebody say something about how did the baby look? She didn't have, she wasn't jaundice sick when they seen her the first time, and she wasn't jaundice sick this time, unless it's something that's happened since they've been with her. So that's all that's all. And I'm sure New Jen is standing with us in the Afia Center. It is our role to make sure that Black folk are being protected. That's another reason why it's having here, because we want to make sure that this family will be protected throughout this entire journey until Miley comes home. Thank you all.
We'll open it up for questions.
You can start. Sure.
Kevin Reese with WFA Channel 8, and you didn't want to mention those names, but we have that same document. And you don't have to, but you have no idea who Ms. Nakovia is, or a Howard, these other names that are on this document that, it's like they're questioning parentage.
Correct.
We don't know who these people are in this document.
No idea who they are. We don't know where the mistake was made, either by the doctor reporting it or by CPS who took the call. We don't know. But
That wasn't no mistake. They did that on purpose. I'm gonna stand by that. They did that on purpose. Because other be able to go yank that child, they had to have a court order. No, that was done intentionally. I I'll put money on it. They did that intentionally. But let's continue.
we have no affiliation. Like, we do not know who these people are. I'm not named as Mila's mother in that document. He's not named as Mila's father in that document. We received further documentation, so even more details, and he's only named as alleged father. They updated that to add his name as alleged father, but they were not willing to update and add me as the mother.
Now ain't that some shit? They put him as the alleged father. They won't even put her as the mother. Man, this is some cold ass shit, man. This is some cold ass shit here. They put him as the alleged father. They don't even have him on the document. Tell you, there's some bullshit going on there. That I'm telling you, they did that on purpose, and they trying to cover that shit up. Just and it's crazy for what? Yeah, this is some man. You said it right there, Super Mike. This is some crazy shit. I'm like, for what? But again, like you said, Super Mike, to put that black man in his place. No, N word. No, nigga. You can't tell me how to raise your child. I tell you how to raise your child. I decide what treatment they need to get, not you. You think there's a gynocracy? You think there's a matriarchy? No, I'm gonna show you the matriarchy. We run it. We're taking your child away from you, and not only that, we arresting you. We arrest you and just yank the child from her. Let me show you where. Let me show you where the real power lies. They just straight back racists get ready for more. Well, yeah, yeah. They're showing you who really got the power. And they're going to exercise it because you're in a powerless position. They can do anything they want to you. Let's continue.
So we do not know who that is now.
May I also ask, when is the most recent time that you saw it? Is it Mila or Mike?
Mila.
Mila, when's the most recent time you're able to see her and where they live?
So we saw her yesterday at the 8700 CPS office. And as my husband stated, unfortunately, we did not leave that office feeling like, okay, I have a little bit more energy because I was able to see her. I was able to let her breastfeed for me. We left there with police there because we brought an issue and we still don't know if she was taken care of. we had to leave our daughter knowing that her vagina was heavily irritated and things were going on down there that was not happening in our care. And for us as parents not to be able to take care of that is hard. So our happy visit of being able to see her was unfortunately tainted with seeing that she's not being taken care of as she would at home.
And to add on that, you know, after discovering, those the bacteria on her, I can see the room they have us in. I can see through this glass that we're not supposed to be able to see, and they're filming to see if we're going to have a reaction. It's almost like we're being baited. Like, and it's for me as a father. This is my only daughter. I can't be a girl dad right now. I feel like I have my protection role has been stripped away from me, and no father should have to feel like that.
Mm. I feel like my protection role has been stripped away from me. I can't even protect my daughter. Let that sink in. I can't even protect my daughter. So again, while you worrying about what these black women doing, while you worrying about white supremacy, well, not even white supremacy, while you worrying about chasing what these women doing, this government is coming to yank your child and in your face, mistreating your child. You can't do shit about it. Stripped away his protection role. But then again, they've been doing that forever. Drugging you, putting you in prison, giving you the three strikes rule, or putting you where you have a felony. Can't People ain't gonna hire you with a felony, so making you economically deprived because more than physical protection, it's economic protection. It makes it harder for you to get an income so that you can provide for your family. Yeah, been doing that to black men for years. But these black men out here now, like the dudes in the manosphere, these red pillars, they ain't talking about this. Nah, we gotta worry about what the black woman doing. We got to go overseas because we're not getting the women that we want. Meanwhile, even if you decide to have a child with someone other than black, they can still do this to you. You can still come yank your child out your house, and you ain't got no say in it. I'm just telling you what. I'm showing you what it is. Now, who you think you should be more worried about? The black bitch that y'all talk about? Or do you need to worry about the government? Do you need to worry about that black bitch? Or do you need to worry about somebody like this? Anand Bhatt. Do you need to be worried about the black woman? Or do you need to worry about somebody like this? Do you need to be worried about that black woman? Or do you need to be worried about CPS? Come and take your child. Hell, let's just say that you're not with the wife. I mean, you're not with the woman no more, and she's doing what she's supposed to do to take care of you, and y'all co-parenting. They can still come and yank that child from her hands. And here's the cold part: they won't even let you take custody. Oh yeah. Oh, listen. Let me read this right quick. We'll get back to the video. Go back. Where did I find it? What did I do with that story? Because listen, most times when they take that child away, they're not giving it to no family members. They're not giving it to the family member. They ain't gonna give it to the father. You know, some of y'all complain that oh these women doing doing all this stuff to the kids, but they won't give it to you. Well, what if that woman's doing everything right and they still take that child away? They still not gonna give you the child. See, you got to think beyond these women. You got to think about this government and how you're gonna protect your rights as a father beyond what these women do. Because even then, even if you want to say, yeah, these women keep you for the child, guess who they run into to do that? The government. If they go call CPS on you, but guess what? CPS still allow them to do that. The family court is taking your child away from you, not them. So while you worry about what that black bitch are doing, sorry, Super Mike, I gotta say it how they say it. They treating you like the bitch. They treating you like a bitch, taking your child in your face, and they let you have visitation. And like they were saying, sound like they trying to bait you. I'll give you a story. My brother um, was on parole, and he had this parole officer, black chick. I remember taking him into the office. She had a black chick. The black chick was there. The white manager was there, and you could tell that they were trying to be rude to my brother, trying to set him off. But I was there. I said, "Hey, bro, you need to calm down because they're trying to send you back." That's what this government would do. They'll try put you in jail. They'll take your kids. They'll do whatever they can to you whenever they want. So again, while you worrying about that black bitch, you better be worried about how this government have the ability to treat you like a bitch, take your kid, and while you just sit there can't do nothing. Keep going.
Any other questions?
Alex here with NBC5. You mentioned that the pediatrician technically offered this free option. Are you able to share what were they?
Absolutely. So option one was to supplement my breast milk with formula to ensure that she was getting 3 ounces of milk every 2 hours. Option two was phototherapy. And then option three was to share our midwife's contact information so that he could directly speak with her and come up with some plan of treating the jaundice. And so we responded to him and let him know that we were doing one and two, and we shared our midwife's contact information with him. And at some point, not sure what change of heart or who he was speaking with, several hours later into the night, he texts my phone, the very aggressive, take her to the hospital or he's calling CPS.
Are you willing to share the name of that person?
Absolutely. Dr. Anand Bhatt with Baylor and Scott.
Spokesperson.
How long has he been talking to her?
So he was our previous pediatrician. He did not know that I was pregnant with Mila. He did not know that I had birthed Mila. He didn't even see Mila when I went to his office. His nurse practitioner, Heather Brock, saw Mila. And so when he's making all of his statements and everything, it's third party from his nurse practitioner.
Heather Rock. Now, this lady right here is who they talk about, Heather Elizabeth Brock. Yeah, this lady right here. So this show this fuck boy again. So this fuck boy didn't even say this damn baby. He going by the word of this bitch right here. But but brother, speak. The white woman is going to speak for us. They're going to go around politicians. This white bitch took a baby away because of her, because she was getting in this fucking loser doctor's head. They took the baby away. This white bitch. Mm-mm-mm. Ain't that a bitch? That white woman showing you how much they think about you, black man. Just like Pearlie did those black Africans. Just like Pearlie did that fucking to the sorry, not the fucking did her black coach, black male coach. Again, these white women showing you what they really think about you. Yeah, you good for screwing, but past that, mm-mm. She and that Indian doctor, fuckboy, told a black man, you don't know how to take care of your child. I do. And since you ain't gonna listen to what I got to say, we're gonna call CPS on you. We're gonna take your child away. How dare, how dare you tell me how that you ain't gonna take my treatment options? How dare you not listen to me? That's what she did. So yeah, we're gonna so that's the pediatrician. And that is the nurse practitioner that actually saw the baby who influenced this pussy ass pediatrician, this white bitch, this pediatrician called CPS. But the white woman gonna take care of us. Fuck out of here. That's what I say. I don't put these people on a fucking pedestal. Let's keep it going.
I have no idea, but I'm hoping that it'll be today.
Today. Just for a little clarity, let's talk a little bit about jaundice. Okay. There are two types of jaundice. There's pathological jaundice, and then there's physiological jaundice. Okay. Pathological jaundice shows up within 24 hours of a baby being born, and that is an emergent situation. Part of her discharge was explaining to her that if your baby shows any signs of jaundice, and those signs are yellowing of eyes, yellowing of skin, yellowing of gums, yellowing of extremities, please reach out to me ASAP and call 911. That's an emergency. Any jaundice after 24 hours, and it is textbook, and it is also utilized by the hospital, is considered physiological jaundice. Physiological jaundice is a normal occurrence. There are several people, if there's any mothers here today, I'm pretty sure your babies, when they were born, had jaundice. And the key to that is to get the bilirubin, which is a byproduct of the red blood cells, to leave the baby's system because the babies cannot digest bilirubin, right? And so what that looks like is it comes out in their eyes and their skin. Well, when it's physiological, normal jaundice, which is what Mila had when she went in, it is a condition in which the mother's body has everything the baby needs, and all the baby has to do is have plenty of pee pee and poo poo diapers and be exposed to the sunlight. In this case, I FaceTimed this mother and she was feeding Mila, and I talked to her for about an hour. And this mama's milk is so good. Like literally, just to be honest, it is what it is, and our bodies are beautiful. She has milk skeeting out. So Mila breastfed from both breasts at least, let's say, 15, 20 minutes, and she burped her. And then while we're talking, she went right back to the boob because we believe in feeding on demand. And if your baby's looking for it, you give it to them. And so that's exactly what was happening. So Mila, from what I read, it was 2 ounces every 3 hours. But even if we say it's 3 ounces every 2 hours, Mia was getting way more than that. The problem is that the situation here is this: her body has she's been designed to have everything her baby needs, very sufficient to give her baby all she needs. So her body produced exactly what Mila needed. Mila got more than 2 or 3 ounces of milk every 2 hours. As a matter of fact, the next day, part of assessment is we FaceTimed again, and this time to see how Mila's eyes and her skin looked, and she was clearing up beautifully. Mom sent me 3 diapers within less than a 24-hour period, 3 blown out poop diapers. So the bilirubin was leaving her body as it would do physiologically. Now, textbook is textbook and life is life, people. If you can't combine those two and make the right decisions, then you mess up and you make decisions like you made to call CPS for physiological jaundice. That is a normal condition. CPS has enough to do out here for kids that are really getting beat, really being abused. This child was being nurtured, this child was being supported, and this child was being loved, and this child was kidnapped. And Mila needs to return home today.
Any more questions? You want to give the final call for action? Whatever.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
So, final call to action.
now our final call to action is we are calling for. Ooh, child.
Yeah.
So, so again, our final call to action today is we're calling for Mila to be returned today. We're calling for the immediate return of Mila to her family. We are calling for this whole suit against her family to be recalled. We also are calling for folks to keep reaching out to CPS and to any other space that you know that can help us get Mila returned. But right now, that's our call to action is for folks to continue to reaching out, to continue to reach out to CPS. My name is Kiana Arnold. I'm a full spectrum community doula, and I'm part of the birth justice team here at the AFIA Center. QIANA. Last name is Arnold, Arnold. So we all know these type of things can be catastrophic to you financially. We have a family. First of all, we have a mother that's in her postpartum period. That's really the most vulnerable period um, for Black women. We know about our high maternal mortality rates. We know this is the time frame where we're watching them the closest. We literally have a mother that has not had a chance to sit down and heal. We have a father that can't leave his wife alone because she is so traumatized, and he is equally traumatized. And this is a man that works and sustains his family. This story is not that story that folk are trying to tell. This is a whole different story. This is a family that live in a good community. They have a home where they have access to resources. And because this has happened, this is also limiting them being capable of making those resources. So I want to encourage everyone to that's another call to action. I want everyone to help support this family financially. We'll be putting some more information up on the FIA Center's website as to what that will look like, how you can help. How you can help, you can help support this family financially. Um, and so, yeah. And so that's it.
So real quick, we're asking that everybody stand in solidarity with this family and ask CPS to dismiss this case
Right.
today. All right.
Mhm.
Yet at the end of the day, one of the biggest, most egregious part of it is when they created the affidavit to remove this child. They use someone else's past CPS history. They use someone else's past
Right.
criminal history, and in that opinion, that means our state government falsified an affidavit and filed it with a court. That's the definition of it, right? Because yet at the end of the day, you have two parents that's sitting here saying their last name is Jackson, all right? And everybody in the media is sitting here reading the affidavit that is filed with the court. You're reading the actual name. You're reading criminal histories. You're reading past CPS cases. That means this document is falsified in the court, and that's the reason why this family says that their daughter is kidnapped, because that's what that means. If this was a situation where there was an investigation on CPS and they would have used the correct name, we know under Texas state law that they wouldn't have been able to remove Mila from the home based on that. But what they did, and whoever did it, even when this baby is returned back, we want a full investigation of this situation and who did it. So at the end of the day, I thank the Affairs Center for all the work that they do. This is, I'm not an expert in this area at all, but I know this level of injustice, and I know what Black people have to deal with. We're told how we should be policed in America.
Right.
We're told where we should live in America. We're told what we should eat in America, how many grocery stores we have, and we're told how we can have our health care, like what we can do with our own body. And yet at the end of the day, the Next Generation Action Network stand adamantly against that. And we're proud to stand in solidarity to advocate with this family, with the Affairs Center. And we ask that everybody call the CP, blow their lines up today, blow that doctor's office lines up today, and to tell them to return this baby home, y'all. We need everybody in our community to do this call to action today. And I want to thank everybody for coming here today.
See, like I said, and I said that somebody put that on there and somebody did that because otherwise, why would it? There ain't no way they would have took that baby if they had no criminal history, no history with CPS. Yeah, somebody did that. Somebody did that. They calling a favor or something to get that child out of there. So yeah, that's some bullshit. So these are the parents, Temecia Jackson and Rodney Jackson. It's a white move. Yeah, it is. It's a white move. Falsified documentation to get somebody hemmed up. Because, let's look at it again. Blow this up a bit. Again, this white chick right here who saw the baby felt that in her mind, they wasn't treating the child like she wanted them to be treated. She told, oh, wait a minute. Oops. Oh, man. Let me say, this white chick, this white bitch, I'm gonna call her a white bitch. This white bitch felt that she knew better than a black man how to treat his child. So she tell this fuck boy right here, hey, the jaundice is too bad. They need to go to the hospital. And he's up there like, well, she must be right. Blowing up these parent phones. Well, you need to take her to the hospital, or I'm gonna call CPS. And that's what they said. And they told him, no, we're gonna do what we need to do. And so he called CPS, took their child away. Now the child in a worse health situation than it was when they didn't get involved. They can't stand to be wrong. Nope. And they will do whatever it takes to make sure they right. That's this government for you. That's what they do. So now you got a child who's been separated from their mother and father. You got a black man who came to see his daughter the way he wants to. Not because of no black bitch, because of a white bitch. Because a white bitch told a black man he don't know how to take care of his child. I do. So you again. This white bitch, this white bitch right here, put smoke up, put smoke up his ass and had him call CPS. I'm so glad. Well, I'm not glad, but I'm so glad we found out it was a white chick. You know why? Because some of these guys need a wake up call. These white chicks ain't for you like that. So at the end of the day, they think you're dumb. They think you're stupid. They think you can't take care of your children. They think they know best, and so they're gonna do whatever they have to do to prove that they right. That's it. And again, they're in a powerful position to do so, and they have every way to fuck with you at any time. And you still worrying about that black bitch. You better be worrying about this white bitch. You better be worrying about that white dude. You better be worrying about this Indian right here. You better be worried about them. I ain't worried about the black. I ain't worried about the black bitch. I'm worried about these folks. I'm worried about them. I'm worried about these folks. So, so yeah, that's her name. This is her name right here. That's the nurse practitioner that saw the baby and said to themselves, uh, I'm going to take care of your child. You're not going to do that. You don't know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. And which told this dumb fuck, blown spoke up his ass. So he called CPS. Now the child got yeast infection in their vagina. How the fuck that happens? How the fuck that happens? So, you know, you know, Ty City, shouts out to him. Uncut Underground, tend to get in, go check him out. He says something, and I can't help to agree with him. Some of us might need to move out the city. Some of us might need to move to get some land and property away from the city. Because if this is the bullshit they can pull on you at any time, can can mess with your right to take care of your child the way you want to. I don't know about you. that ain't a good feeling. I don't know about y'all. So you want to donate to the Alpha Center? Is scrolling at the bottom. I'm put in the chat too. Put in the chat also. Oh, that's not it. And if there's more update to this, I will do an update to this. I'll be watching this. I'll keep an eye on this. If there's any way to donate to the Jacksons directly, I will put that up. I will come back with another video and show how to donate to them directly. And black men, you you got to be careful out here. Worrying about what these black women doing, putting all these other women on a pedestal is not going to help you, because when they can, they will fuck with you and they will take away your rights to control your own destiny and to control your own legacy just because they can. And, and they don't care how your children get treated. They don't care if they traumatize. They don't care if it affects them for the rest of their life. They don't care. because at the end of the day, they want to flex their power over you, black man, and they will do that anytime. Protect yourself. And you know what? Maybe Super Mike, you got a point there. Maybe you need to stay away from these white doctors and nurses. Maybe you need to stay away from them. Because it don't make sense. You're gonna take a child away from parents who were trying to take care of their children. You got so many parents who beat their children, mistreat their children, neglect their children, fathers who don't even want they don't even want to be around their children, mothers who will let their children live in filth before they give their child to the father. But you got two parents, a mother and father, wanting to do the best for their children, and this is the shit they got to put up with, because this white bitch and this Indian fuck felt that they know how to treat their children more than this black man, right here. And they decided to flex their power to do that. You gotta open your eyes. You gotta understand what you really need to be protecting yourself from. It's not the black woman. You need to protect yourself from this government. And you need to protect yourself from these fucked up white bitches and these fucked up immigrants who want to fuck with you when they want to. That's what you need to be protecting yourself from. So donate to the Alpha Center if there's a way to donate to them directly, to the Jacksons directly. I will find that out and I will post this. And I'm going to Super Mike. Like I said, if you want to do something with this, you very welcome to go do your thing. I'm gonna send this to. I'm gonna send an email to Information Man so he can talk about that. He's very good. He knows doctors. I might also send this to BMT because he has his doctor. I mean, the lawyer, Michelle. And this is something that this is something that needed to be talked about. We worry about Pearly. We worry about going overseas. No, you need to be worrying about taking care of your legacy. These people have blocks. If I got something set up, good, good. Please do, please do. Yeah, and anybody else who's listening to this, share this. Share this. Put this on your Twitter. Put this on your Facebook. Share this stuff. The stuff right here is damaging to black people. This stuff right here. This is the stuff that black men you need to protect yourself from, not black women. This government. You want to talk about that these women are taking your children away? Well, who letting them do it? This government. That's what you need to be fighting. That's what you need to be protecting yourself from at all costs. So, like I said, I'm gonna send this to Information Man. he probably already got a story on it, but I'm gonna send it to him anyway. See, he could do the story. He probably do a better job than I'm doing. you know, but the most important thing, I wanted this to be told, and I wanted this to show to black men in particular. The black woman ain't your enemy. Not the way you think. Your enemy is this government. Is in They are trying to take your rights away as a father. Can't be You can't talk about a gynocracy when they yanked the daughter away from her, and they didn't give it back to her. They yanked this child away from her. Yep, send to at send to at the Migrate K. Okay, that's her Twitter. That's her Twitter, because I'll send it to her too. Um, and let me hit up. I'll probably hit up information man too. Um, with that said, let's see. But yeah, going. Yeah, I'm sending this to the people I know, and maybe sending to D Durrell too. She on Philip Scott Network. Okay, bet. I'll send it. I guess that's her Twitter. If that's her Twitter or email, you got an email? Maybe I can send it to her too in an email. You know what? Better yet. Yeah, that's my Twitter and YouTube. Okay, good enough. Okay, and yeah, and that's my email. You can also send me if there's anybody else you want me to send it to. You can send it to my email, and and we'll go from there, because I think this needs to be spread more than anything. So I'm gonna get up out of here. You know, I think that this was just very important. This gender war ain't this gender war. It don't mean nothing if I don't care who you with, white woman, whatever. They can still come take your child at any time. You need to protect yourself. You know, black men, be powerful or be powerless. Choice is yours. Because if you're powerless, this is what they're gonna do to you. They're gonna take your children away, take away your legacy. Don't let them do that. I'm Brother Speak. Thank y'all for joining me. Appreciate it. Share this to everybody, please. And with that, I'm out. Peace.